Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hey everybody, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash. Today's trends and tomorrow's talk. Thank you so much for joining us here. We got a great show, 1 hour, great stuff heading your way, and of course, you are a big part of it. Sweet baby James in the Daily Flash back room with all of our social media stuff. How can folks get a hold of us in that sense?
Oh man, you know, we have so many different channels, but guess what?
Yeah.
When you go to the channels, you have to answer the question of the day. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Got it.
All right, here we go. If you could replace a character in your favorite movie, who would it be and what movie? For me, it's Jennifer Lopez and everything. Everything she's ever been. So, you know, hey, Matt, tell them where they can actually go. Where we at, man?
My choice is I want my John Belushi, Eddie Murphy version of Ghostbusters that we
go.
were supposed to get.
I
but
like that.
you know, stuff happens. You can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Send us your response to that question, flash@dailyflashshow.com. You can respond on our social media accounts, all that stuff. And while you're there, why don't you like, subscribe, and share it all?
Chris Farley in the Igor movie, not the Igor movie.
Farley and Shrek. Yeah.
Shrek was in
Have you
based
seen
on
the?
it,
You've seen the clips where he's like actually doing the voiceover.
I've heard this clip, but I had not actually seen the what do you call it? The actual animation. It was like one of those stop motion.
yes.
It was just the sketches and stuff. I think that would have been. They made the movie for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was supposed to be Shrek, and then
it was
of course
Mike
he died.
Myers that ended
And
up.
then Mike Myers wound up
Yeah.
taking it over and making it who it was as well. But there is some, as Matt had said.
Yeah. Kristen
on there.
Stewart for me.
Yeah.
Anything she's in, I can't watch it. I don't know
Even
what
Twilight?
It is. Twilight. I was like, why? Why
It's
does
that
she have to be in
deadpan
Twilight?
face and everything.
Awful.
It's
Awful.
just
And it's me. You know, I'm sure she's lovely, but I just can't stomach anything she's
not
in.
lovely.
She's not
I look at her. She's just always.
Yeah,
Listen,
always,
we're gonna
you're
get
right.
email, but she never looks happy.
Never
and
looks
I'm like,
happy.
you don't want to be around
Miserable.
people like
No.
that, right?
Yeah.
You and me are in the same.
She looks like she's the general manager of a Hot Topic somewhere in Iowa.
Yes, I can see her.
Exactly.
In her next role. Okay, so check this out. A text from a boss has gone viral after he contacted his employee while the worker was on vacation. Here's just a little bit of the text. Reads, Jake, I know you're off today, but I really need this sorted before the meeting at 1 o'clock. Where are the raw files? Jake responds, hey, sorry, I just got off the plane. He sent them the link. The boss says, I didn't know how to convert the files. Jake then suggests he asks another coworker.
Yeah.
The boss says, coworker couldn't do it. He needs Jake to take care of it. Jake said he could help after he got through customs. Again, the guy's on vacation. So critics are calling this budget leadership and say it's never okay to contact an employee while they are on vacation. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Okay, we are in a different world than we used to be.
Okay.
Because this job, my radio job, and my wife's job, we have different hours. We don't have that 9 to 5 anymore.
Sure.
And so, this is what COVID did, is that made everybody work from home.
Great point.
And then it also allowed, well, if we need to get in contact, we can contact you anytime you want. However, he should have stopped after that point and said, well, you know what? You need to contact somebody that does know how to do it. And I agree. There was a point, he sent him the link, he did his part.
Yeah.
However, it does sound like he didn't do that beforehand, right? I mean, like, why didn't he have the link in the first place initially?
Right.
So we can't blame it all on the boss. However, there is a point where him asking, well, I need you to do this right now. No, I'm sure you do. That's why it's called a vacation, and I'm away from it. So there is there should be a little bit of lenience now in this day and age, 2025, 2026. We should be able to be open, but there should be a limit to it. I feel it.
Right. And I think that's where the boundaries get blurred between employer and employee. Because like you said, some employers think you should be available to them 24/7. If they can text you, if they can email you, they will do that and they expect an immediate response from you. However, I do feel like once you're on vacation, phone's off.
So is it? Yeah, it should be partly your fault.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're the employer, it's like, you know what, turn it off, don't respond or whatever.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing, they would have figured it out
Eventually.
if they got rid of that safety net. The safety net was, let's call the employee while he's on vacation. If that was out, I am 100% sure if it was that important, the boss would have found it And if it was extremely important, where the company will go under, he would have called the hotel, he would have found this guy, and then got to it, and then the guy could have made that decision here and there because he wants to make sure there's a job waiting for him.
Yeah, you think so. The other thing that's coming up with regard to this topic is employees who are in a company meeting and they're on their phones texting. Jamie Dimon, he's a CEO of one of the big companies, Mercedes-Benz, I believe, and he came out and he was livid. He's like, I was just in a meeting. While I'm holding this meeting, I have an employee who's on their phone texting, not paying attention in the meeting. So is he right to criticize the employee for texting during a meeting?
And then do you ask who you texting, I guess?
Yeah.
If you ask my wife, here's the thing, I'd be on the phone and you come up to me, you're my wife, and you ask me a question.
Mitch, what's going on?
You see me on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I'm doing this. And then,
did you buy eggs?
and then,
Where's the bread?
yeah, I did. I'll be able to do all this.
You're not listening to me.
Exactly. Wait a minute, I was doing this first.
I've had full conversations with my wife while she's looking at her phone, doesn't remember anything I asked her for about half an hour. So I think there's a difference though, because I kind of live in two extremes now. So I have this job and then I have another job. At the other job, if I even think about doing any work, they have to pay me for it. So they can't ask me to do anything between, after the hours that I'm there. Here, it's very different. We work on the stuff throughout the week and everything. So it just depends on it. Like my wife's a corporate attorney and she's up till 2, 3 in the morning working on stuff sometimes.
It's the new schedule. I mean, again, we all love, when working from home, you have to give out a little bit. To answer your question, I think it is rude, number one. I think with this day and age, I wouldn't say most people, but if you have a Apple Watch, if you feel it, you're going to have an issue. Just leave the phone in another room. If somebody needs to get a hold of you, you got, like, oh my gosh, my wife needs me, or an emergency happened.
Well, and isn't that the boss's responsibility, maybe to come into a meeting and say, phone's down?
Okay, yeah, I'd buy that.
Everybody turn your phone off. If you want that kind of attention. But we also live in a day and age, depending on what business you're in, when alerts come across your phone, if you're in the news business, you got to be paying attention to that stuff all the time.
That's a good point, yeah.
So I think it kind of depends in the work environment that you live in. But we're so chained to these things. Even the watch, when my watch goes off, I automatically look at it. I can't help it.
And then you have to go somewhere?
Yeah.
I know it's a text message.
Exactly.
I get that all the time.
And I'm like, I feel terrible when I'm in the midst of a conversation with somebody and the watch goes off. Has that ever happened to you?
Well, yeah,
and
completely.
I know I need to look at it, but I don't want to be rude. And I'm like, and it keeps beeping. I'm like, I know eventually I have to stop the conversation.
I keep mine on silent so it'll vibrate. And then, I'll be like one of these.
Right, like, is it important?
Or it just sounds like, I get a text real quick and go, okay, anyway. And just say, look, you're important, somebody's interrupting me. It is psychologically saying, you know what, this person's getting hold of me, but you're more important. Just like, I'm sorry.
But don't you feel like you're less important if somebody stops a conversation to look at their phone or their watch?
Well, it depends. If they stop and then that's what they're concentrated on, and like, that would tell me, like, okay, what I'm saying, and now I'm second priority. Yeah. But like I said, if somebody came in, or like just somebody came in the office and say, I'm meeting with Andrea right now, I'll get back with you. Yeah. That's basically what you're saying.
Sure.
And I know this is all this the simplistic of it, but I also think as humans, tell me if y'all agree, is that we have gotten so good at actually multitasking. I talk about guys. Women are excellent at it. But as far as men go, we're learning this multitasking thing, and we don't even realize it, where we could be on the phone and listening at the same time. However, I'm not giving you 100% of my attention. Okay, here's the thing. I'm at work right now. If I was just doing this, you're right, Jackson. 100%. I mean, you at home could say, well, Mitch is not paying attention. So we're fortunate enough to see this.
Right.
What are you showing to everybody else?
So go on your go on your telephone.
On my telephone?
On your pocket phone.
You do. What do you need me to do?
So Mitch can have $1 million.
Yeah, if you need to, go ahead.
Sure, great.
She said she was thirsty.
Can I borrow your Ferrari?
And well, I tell you what, that's not the first time I've heard that.
See what I mean? Yes, exactly.
And then you're going to be disappointed because it's a Prius.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of
That's the wife's car. I want that to be known. I have a truck, all right?
But I will tell you, anytime I'm watching a show, if I dive off to the phone and I'm like kind of get lost in X or Facebook or something, I have to rewind the show.
It's your background show. Everybody's got to have a background show.
Yes, but then if I'm trying to watch something and I get distracted by the phone, I've missed
That's why-
everything that's happened.
The shows I'm really devoted to, I watch on the treadmill because I'm watching it on my phone, so I have to stay on there.
Okay.
All right. Maybe James, we can have him work the polls. Polls. And ask
that.
this as a question. James. All right, never mind. James, we're going to be talking about face circumcisions.
Oh.
Wow.
Right?
Yes. And when is the perfect time to start decorating for Christmas?
Yeah.
And face circumcision. I don't know if those two are together, but I'm ready for it, Jackson.
Shalom.
Life Love Shopping is a weekly 30-minute lifestyle show hosted by Andrea Jackson. It's focused on the latest trends for your health, home, and happiness. Life Love Shopping offers viewers ways to improve their life and style, wellness, and relationships. If you live it, love it, or buy it, Life Love Shopping will talk about it.
We start today's show with the happiest jobs in America. A recent study found physical therapists take the top spot when it comes to job satisfaction.
Life Love Shopping, your life and style guide from A to Z.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here, along with Andrea Jackson. We got some trending stories. Gen Zers, they've devised a new way to mentally detox from digital distractions. How? Undertaking challenges where they do, well, nothing all day. It's known as raw dogging, which is completely different than what I knew about it. The practice involves staring into space without entertainment, sleep, or other distractions. Recent videos from a self-proclaimed productivity influencer show him working on his digital detox for an hour a day, which he's actually working if he's an influencer. And he's showing them.
Yes.
It's safe to say it seemed like a lot of work for nothing. Researchers say boredom is a psychological signal to seek new experiences and growth, and I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
And we kind of mentioned that earlier about how kids need to be bored.
Yes.
I do appreciate it. They're just detoxing,
Yeah.
relaxing. I think we called it meditating.
Yeah.
Because you're getting rid of all the distractions. They're talking, and this isn't the only way where they're just sitting in their chair, but some of them, like just wherever they're at, they'll just do that.
I've heard about it on flights where people leave or pack their electronics or don't bring them with them. And so when they're on the flight, they're not listening to anything, they're not watching anything, they don't have their phone. It's just they're looking straight ahead, or they're talking with people, or they're looking out the window, but it's a detox from their tech.
Which is a good opportunity
Yeah.
to do it. I have to watch a movie on a plane.
I
but
do
okay.
too, yeah. But to me, isn't it sort of ironic that he's videotaping
That's what I was saying, he's
himself?
working.
He's recording himself while he's sitting in a chair
Yeah,
doing nothing.
I guess showing us what it looks like to do nothing, or proving that that's what he's doing. I think of Putty from Seinfeld. Like when they would take a shot of him, he would always start off. They would he'd have this blank stare, like he was just sitting there, and it'd be just like this,
Yes.
whatever. And that's what this guy looks like they're doing.
That was Elaine's boyfriend, right?
Elaine's boyfriend, Putty. Yeah.
The one that had the makeup, Patrick Wahlberg, the one that did all the makeup for the football
Devils,
game. Yeah.
New Jersey Devils.
Oh, God, hysterical. Well, forget granite countertops. Some home buyers are now prioritizing ghosts, believe it or not. Haunted houses are the new hot property buy. A new Rocket Mortgage survey reveals that nearly 2/3 of Americans would consider buying a haunted house. In fact, only 18% of respondents say they would immediately sell a house if they found out it's haunted. Meanwhile, 41% would opt to make friends with the ghost or dig into the home's backstory. The findings shed light on the latest trend in the real estate market.
You can get them; they're cheaper. I'm not 100% sure, but I think in some states you have to disclose if there was a murder or something in the house or something like that. Which you go, okay, well, if there's murder in the house, there's going to be a ghost, and that's not necessarily the case. I would not want to know because I have now. I live in a mid-century modern home.
Yes, you do.
And which is an inside joke between Jackson and I. Anyway. And I hear sounds, but I got the cats now, and I blame it always on the cats.
That's
if I
good.
hear a sound, I go, oh, it's the cats. It was cats. But if you're in if somebody said, well, this house is haunted, now every time I hear a sound, I'm thinking, well, it's the ghost going to come in and possess me, and this entity, I'll be flying around.
Have you ever watched Ugliest House in America on HGTV?
I love that show with Retta.
Retta.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She has the scariest house.
Yes,
here.
I was just going to bring up the scariest house because they go to all these houses that are haunted. I mean, some of these places are insane.
You and I lived in Dayton. Did you see that one they did in Dayton, Ohio?
No.
It used to be an old funeral home, and it had a basement and everything. And it didn't win, but I was like, I think I know where that place is at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think houses. We always say we want houses with history and culture to it, and it seems like they only haunt these really cool looking houses. You don't ever see like like in the Poltergeist, where it's like a new house.
An 80s suburban
You
style
never see
stucco
that.
house. Yeah.
It has to be an old house in order
course.
for to do it. All right, we're moving on. Some other trending stories. A man has declared himself president of a country all in a disputed patch of land. It's right between Croatia and Serbia. His name's Daniel Jackson. He has founded the Free Republic of Virtus. The area has been named the world's second smallest country. The official language, English, Croatian, and Serbian, and the tiny nation state uses the euro as its currency. Virtus began with just 4 people, but now it has more than 400 official citizens. Each person can get a passport, but Jackson discourages anyone from using it as an official travel document. It's not necessarily accepted as of yet. There's land there. It can happen. There's a place, I think, between Spain, somewhere off of Spain. There's like a river or something that goes through, and there's a massive land that's there. And I wish I knew the name of this, but half of the year it belongs to Spain, and then half of the other year it belongs to somebody else. And I was just learning about this, and I found this fascinating about politics, about like, okay, could you go there and is there different laws different times a year? And then what is his laws if you're there as well? Is it governed under, is it like a sub-government under one of the countries?
Well, I guess he is the government, right?
He'd have to be.
He's the judge, he's the sheriff, he's the mayor, he's the governor, the president.
I wonder what the tariffs are
Good
if you
question.
mail anything back from
Yeah,
there.
that's a good question. Like, I always think of Antarctica, you know,
That's right, yeah.
because it apparently is ruled by all, 7 different continents. Everybody has a stake in it.
100%. And there's a government there, and I think they find what the certain government is one of those countries. They'll follow those laws because they have to have some kind of law.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. But I wonder, like, with the travel visa, if you can get a passport from this country, to me, it's like identity theft on steroids.
100%. And then what's their extradition policies? I mean, there's a lot that goes with that. I mean, you can run in there and be one of the 400 or 40 people that live there now.
Because isn't like Portugal, if you move to Portugal and you're on the run from the law,
That's the place to go.
You're safe?
I've heard.
Yeah.
I might wind up there one day. Who knows?
You never know.
What we will wind up doing is returning back if you want some good stuff, because we got today's trends and tomorrow's stop.
Yes, we do. We're talking dumb beer. Don't worry, it will make sense. We promise. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Time now for some trending stories. New parenting trends are taking hold of Gen Z. So step aside gentle parenting and make way for cycle breaking and the cause and effect approach. A survey of 2,000 young parents of children from infants to age 6 say their new style of parenting is in direct contrast to how they were raised. Cycle breaking is about healing generational trauma and breaking the cycle created by their parents. Attachment parenting is about building strong family bonds between siblings, parents, and extended
I like that.
family members, right? And cause and effect parenting is consequence-based parenting. Now, despite Gen Z being the first generation to be raised on gentle parenting, only 32% see this approach as effective, and they say it only works in limited situations and should be combined with other parenting choices that include consequences. I think this is typical. It's like the pendulum. It swings one way in one direction to an extreme with the gentle parenting. You win every award, you never lose, et cetera, et cetera. You're covered in bubble wrap when you walk out the door to, now we're kind of coming back to the opposite of like, there are consequences. You don't always win in life. You do get hurt out there.
And not only that needs to happen.
Yes.
Honestly, they need to have that disappointment.
Yeah.
They need to be bored. And unfortunately, as I've got 5 kids, and I'm lucky enough to kind of take what I've learned before with my 14-year-old son now, and be able to realize I didn't do it the right way. And as you were talking about, that is getting that bonding thing is such a big thing, because as they get older, the siblings are going to talk to each other to get help, because they went through the same trials with that jackass dad that they had. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I learned that a little too late, but I wish I would have made sure that they were very close, so that they always have. My boys are really close, and but I think you're 100% right. Is that we do something. I'll give you a great example.
Okay.
Is that my wife? She was kind of forced to go to church, and so she's like, "Well, I'm not going to have Enzo really have to go to church. He wants to go to church with me." And so
really?
it's like opposite. Do you know what I'm
Interesting,
saying?
Yes. So that kind of plays into this whole study that, what we saw with the generation who wanted nothing to do with church, this new generation wants everything to do with church. And that common bonding with a community and a group of people and finding some sort of companionship and friendship.
And in contrast to that, where I don't think my kids will be mad if I say this, where I made them go to church. They don't really have a big importance of church. I mean, I think they know it's there.
It's
always
not a priority
for them,
for
but it's
them.
not a priority.
Yeah.
Where I love that and I don't want to make Enzo, my son, go, but like he's like, yeah, he wants to go, and it makes me feel good. And I'm realizing if you give them that opportunity, they'll probably do the right thing.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they're going to learn something. So look at situations that way.
Yes,
You know?
yeah. My parents, my mom was Catholic, my dad was Protestant, so religion was never a big thing in our house, believe it or not. And they both felt strongly enough that we needed to make that decision on our own.
Yeah, I like that.
And they would allow us to go to friends' churches and go to different places and didn't really, have one idea or another. But it would have been kind of nice to have some sort of community like that growing up, because I kind of feel like a...
No, that's cool.
like a leaf in the wind when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't really identify with any of those things.
But that you recognize that. That's what I love about it.
And I love that my parents gave us that choice. I thought that was really
cool.
interesting.
Okay, I mentioned this heading into break. Dave Asprey, he's known as the father of biohacking. He recently announced he got a facial circumcision to trim his extra facial skin.
Yeah.
All right, see it right there? Asprey said no amount of red light therapy could resolve his sagging skin. From years of being obese, the procedure is known as the no-cut facelift. It uses a hollow needle to remove thousands of tiny fat tissues. He had 28 square inches of fat removed, about the size of 4 credit cards. Ooh. There he is right there. Dave said at the age of 26, he was obese, pre-diabetic. Fast forward to 2025, now the picture of health.
Looks great.
Yes. He also says he's in the best shape of his life, and he claims he's currently on track to live to be 180 years old. I don't think that'll ever happen, but at least he'll feel better about it. I think we're in a day and age, too, where women and men are okay with, plastic surgery and sort of things. Yeah. But I do know liposuction. If you ask anybody that's ever had lipo, they said it is painful.
I've heard that, too.
Painful.
Yeah, and they wouldn't do it again.
That's exactly what I've heard, yeah.
And it seems to me like if they do have that done, the chances of all of the fat coming back are tenfold.
And not only that, is that you get sucked in, so now the fat's going to different places. My understanding. So that's kind of freaky if you think about it, right?
And here's another thing I don't get: the Brazilian butt lift. I don't understand it. It looks painful. B, I don't know how you keep that up. And C, what's the point?
Well, I've seen pictures. Okay, first off, and it's exactly what you think it is. It turns it into a teardrop, more or less, right?
Yeah.
If you want to look at it that way. But it seems like no matter what, gravity is going to win, and there's a lot of weight.
100%.
So I can't see it lasting forever, right?
Yeah.
If you have a Brazilian butt lift, why don't you send a picture to sweet baby James? He's telling me my ear. Is that right, James? You want the butt lift pictures? Yes, he does.
James is now part of our investigative unit, and he'll be doing work.
You're going to investigate that, James?
I have no problem. Yes, I have no problem doing that, but we have to send it to a secret file on a different server. Oh. That way we don't get in trouble with HR.
Okay, well, jump on that as well. Yeah. In the meantime, get a face circumcision.
Daily Flash IT, James Alexander.
We're on the deal.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hey everybody, Mitch English here.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Let's check in with our stations across the nation. Matt Doolittle, tell us all about it.
219 affiliates across the country and the Armed Forces Network, which we love.
Yeah, we do.
Salute out there. Today we are checking in with our friends at KAJS in Lincoln, Nebraska, which I didn't know was originally named Lancaster, but they changed it to honor President Lincoln.
Yes, after Burt Lancaster was born.
Was it really? No. Wasn't Johnny Carson born in...
Find that out. Find out. But I think
Omaha,
Nebraska.
No, he
yeah.
was born in Nebraska, I believe.
And then isn't Rupert Murdoch? He's based. Oh, no, he's in South Dakota or one of the
no,
Dakotas.
You're thinking of
You know what I'm talking
yes,
about.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. That's what it is.
He lives in Omaha, Nebraska.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, Jackson knows these
Yeah,
things, y'all.
and he has breakfast with Bill Gates occasionally at a diner there, and they order the same thing: milkshakes and cheeseburgers.
Every single time. Remember, Buffett came out and said, "Listen, you can have dinner with me," and some guy bid like $1 million or something. It was this outrageous number. But he's like, "Think about it. I'm sitting down with Warren Buffett, and I can pitch ideas to him.
Right.
Like, what is that worth? Wouldn't you love to get to that status where
Yeah.
people will pay that much money just for lunch?"
How do you feel about his kids though? Because he's like, I'm not leaving them a dime.
I just watched Succession, and I feel
Yeah.
much better about life. Right?
Yeah.
Johnny Carson, born in Iowa.
It was Iowa.
Iowa.
Okay.
Corning Iowa.
Nobody grew up in Nebraska.
Find out. Find out where
He might have been born in Iowa, but I knew he grew up in.
And you at home, yell at the TV a little bit louder because I know you know at home, and you're like, "You idiots!" We can hear you that way.
Yes.
It'll come through. When I'm talking and you figure it out, let me know because.
Yes, he lived in Nebraska for most of his childhood.
There you
There
go.
we go.
See, Jackson knows.
Where in Nebraska?
Norfolk.
By the cornfields. That's a good way to say
Wild
it.
By the plains.
Okay, I want
flat road.
everybody
Yes.
to look around. Everybody around here, wherever you're at home or whatever. Guess what? More than likely, your password has been leaked. The latest one is huge. 183 million, not only logins, but passwords have been compromised from Gmail. So if you have a Gmail account, more than likely this has happened. And this includes companies that use Google as well, not just gmail.com, but if you think about that. Google, it wasn't hacked. They had malware. There's a new term you're going to start hearing. It's called info stealers, which does sound like
Sounds like a game show.
That's not funny. I was going to say something. It grabbed basically passwords straight off of infected devices. This was basically your mom or your aunt who sent you a joke, and you go, "Well, I got to see this."
Is this AI?
Nothing happened. I don't get it. I'm just going to keep on pressing links. If you could teach them anything, if you don't know the person, if you don't know the link, if it's from a bank or whatever, don't respond to it. Experts say that the problem is they're saying if you reuse passwords, you are more than likely basically affected by this. And there is a website to find out if you have been affected as well. We'll put it up here on the screen here in just a second. It's called Have I Been Pawned, I believe. Let's go. And pawned is spelled P-W-N-E-D, which means it's pawned is kind of an internet term meaning like somebody's gotten the better of you.
I'm checking myself right now.
Okay, so pawned without the letter A in it.
Have I been pawned?
HaveIBeenPawned.com. Go there right now, type in your password. It's a complete safe site, trust me.
Sure it is.
Sure it is. That's the thing. What happens when that place, all you have to do though is you just type in your email address and it will tell you. And what's cool about it, it will tell you all the places where it was hacked and when it was.
Oh, wow.
So it does a history of this as well. It's a big deal. 183 million total email. 16.4. This is what's crazy. 16.4 million of them are brand new, never seen before passwords. So if you're like, if you do this, I've never had my password.
This isn't good.
Yeah.
What is alien text base? Apparently they stole my password too.
Oh.
Well, that sounds about you because you're all about the alien
Aliens.
stuff.
Hot topic, which okay.
I wouldn't admit
Advanced
to
auto
that.
parts.
I would not admit to that you gave. Okay, and that's the thing. You check out, okay, and they go, "Can I have your password?" No. You know what? If you do, you give me 20% off or whatever. If you give this information away, they're going to send you email and it's going to get hacked. Just know that. All right? Okay.
I can't know enough passwords to remember to change
Thank
them
you.
so they're all different.
Look, if anybody wants to steal my stuff, have at it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the day.
We got some celebrity real estate and more of today's Trends, tomorrow's talk. We're also talking about dumb beer. Find out what that's all about.
Dumb beer.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm your El Jefe of social media here in the flashback room. You know what time it is. It's time for the question of the day. Are you ready? Here we go. If you could replace a character in your favorite movie, who would it be and what movie? Guys, what do you think?
Well, I think Chris Farley would be awesome. Change him for Shrek as my pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say Kristen Stewart. Replace her with anybody in any of movies.
Anything at all. There you go, James. All right, you can jump in on our comments on our social media accounts. You can sound off. We're going to feature some of your answers on the air. And hey, you want to be part of the show? That's how you do it. We love having you around.
Yeah, dailyflashshow.com. Sound off.
Really
Look for
simple,
that question
really easy.
of the day. Okay, let's talk about this crazy proposal. A man proposed to his girlfriend by showing her a fake Disney-style movie trailer that he had made using AI. In the video, the couple is sitting on the sofa, about to watch what his girlfriend thinks is going to be a Disney movie. The trailer shows small, sweet moments of the animated version of the couple together. That's when the woman starts to realize what's going on. The video then shows the two of them on the couch watching the trailer, and then she realizes that's their house. At the end, a screen pops up that reads, "Will you marry me?" That was his cue to get down on one knee and propose in real life. And, of course, she said yes.
Good. That would be
Right.
really bad.
After all that work.
Good for him, man. Yeah, I like this. It makes it harder for all these other guys to kind of top that. There was a guy who did this in a movie theater. Exact same thing.
No way.
And he made like a trailer, and they had a camera, which was odd because they had the camera on. He had this. I mean, it was a big setup. It was basically he had rented out the theater to go watch this, and and you could see the girl's face, and it was a long, like, he worked as an animator, so he's the one who did it. And you can Google this to find it, and it took her a while. Like, wait a minute, that's us. That's and then she realized what was going on. Then he got down on the knee. But Google it. It's really a cool video, and it's in a movie theater. The guy had rented out for he and all of his friends. That's hard to top.
And I'm hoping
like
she
that.
said yes.
She did. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Okay, you know what? You say yes no matter what because you can work that stuff out otherwise.
If he proposes to you at the World Series while you're watching the Dodgers play the Blue Jays and you might have reservations, just say yes.
Just say yes.
For the sake of all of us.
It's going to make everybody feel better. You're going to look better, number one. Number two, you'll hash it out later because I got to be honest, we don't care about you 6 months from now.
No, I don't care for you 24 hours after that. Actually, an hour after that, I don't care. I'm on to the next thing.
You made it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Do not, though, go there with your mistress, right? And do that. Don't do that at all. We learned that about Coldplay.
What did we learn from 2025?
Exactly. That's probably the biggest thing.
Don't go to a Coldplay concert with somebody who's not your wife or husband.
Not a good idea.
I don't know.
You don't have to go to college to do that, but if you do and happen to go to Harvard, well, they've just hired a drag queen as a new professor. Who is actually expected to teach a class about RuPaul's Drag Race. We're not joking. Harvard has welcomed Kareen Hub-Chandani, who perhaps is better known as his stage name, which is actually kind of vulgar to pronounce.
Too vulgar for TV.
Too vulgar for TV. That means it's pretty bad. He's going to teach just 2 classes over the course of the next 2 semesters. It's called Queer Ethnography in the fall, as well as RuPaulistics in the spring semester. Guess what? That's what your kids, they're going to Harvard to learn. Learn this.
$35,000 a semester, I think, is what it's up to now. Maybe more, like $50,000 a semester. If I'm paying for my kid to go to Harvard, there is no way in heck he's going to be studying rock and roll poetry or RuPaulitics. I'm sorry. No. Watch the darn show on television.
Why do you need that, first off?
You don't.
I think, maybe it's they're trying to say, look, we're Harvard's saying, look, we're open for everybody. Who knows? Don't think it's the best idea in the world.
No.
Well, good idea, though, is to stay with us because we got more Flash. We're not done with this hour just yet.
No, there's much more of today's trends and tomorrow's talk right here on Daily Flash.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. We've reached a pivotal point in our beer chugging history. Our next guest says beer is dumb again. Joining us to talk about it is Emily Stewart. She's a reporter for Business Insider. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Okay, great. What led you to focus on the beer market trend?
Well, I think we have been talking a lot, right, lately about like what's happening in drinking, right? And you hear all of the time, like people are drinking less, right? But like, what does that look like? Because for some people, that looks like abstaining, right? But for some people, that looks like maybe changing their habits, maybe, switching out regular beer with an alcoholic beer or switching out things that have a lower alcohol content. So that was kind of where I wanted to see like what's going on in beer, because we know beer as a category is not doing great. But we also kind of, we want to know like what's happening with beer in general.
It seems like there was such a huge push for all the craft beers, and it seemed like you needed a degree to figure out what you were drinking. Why do you think some drinkers are moving away from the craft beer trend?
I mean, the market's become really oversaturated. If you think back to the 2000s, 2010s, craft beer was kind of everywhere, right? You had like the IPA drinking millennial, and that's kind of gone away. We know that craft breweries have been closing more than they've been opening, and it's just kind of like a lot of trends kind of moved on. It's not that people aren't drinking IPAs and stouts and sour beers anymore. It's that it's not really as special. Like somebody sits down with an IPA, you're not like, ooh, look at this. It's a little bit like foodie culture. We've just
Yeah.
like moved on by that. We also know that like consumers are pretty pressed financially, and some of the craft stuff can be pretty pricey.
That's true. What's driving the popularity of the less expensive, simple lagers?
I mean, some of it really is price, right? I mean, we know that consumers are a little bit pressed for cash. And so that might mean they are switching to kind of like below premium brands, maybe. Or maybe they're buying in smaller packs. We also know like the palate is changing. I mean, to some extent, the IPA and craft beer trend is a little bit of a derivation from the norm. Like if you think of your dad drinking a beer 30 years ago, he was cracking open like a light lager. He wasn't getting an IPA after work. And we,
This is true.
like, I mean, that's the truth. And I
Yeah.
think tastes you are changing a little bit more. Like not everybody likes like an IPA, like not everybody likes the hoppy stuff. Not everybody likes the sour beer. So some of this is just people looking around and saying, you know what, like I just want a normal, cheap thing.
Yes, something refreshing, something easy, something I don't have to think about. How are some of these craft breweries responding to this shift in this story that you covered?
I mean, some of them are starting to offer like a lighter lager, a pilsner, and that appeals, to people who again maybe not won't like the hops, and also for somebody who's a little bit price conscious, like they're a little bit risk averse, right? If I'm going to spend $8, $9, $10 on a beer, I want to know that it's something I'm going to like, and a lager, a pilsner might feel a little bit safer, and so craft breweries can appeal in that way too. That being said, IPAs are still super popular among their populations.
Yeah, I definitely think it can be an acquired taste, but it's also sort of a social thing. What do you think in your coverage of this story? How is the consumer behavior changing with regard to this trend?
I mean, I think some of this is consumers are going back to basics a little bit. We know that in general, kind of consumers seem to, in drinking, be liking a more basic flavor profile. If you think about spiked seltzers, right? A lot of them are like lime, lemon, watermelon. It's not something like really fancy. And I think that's happening in beer a little bit as well. Again, it's some of it's price and some of it's also the lower alcohol content. A lot of these brand name lighter lagers have an ABV that's 4%, 4.2%. And if it's like a Sunday and you're watching football all day, that's kind of what you want. If you're drinking like an IPA all day, you're probably going to have like quite a day. You probably shouldn't do that if you have to work the next day.
Very true. Do you think this is regional too, Emily? Is it different, let's say, in the Northeast as it is in the Southwest?
I mean, it might be different regionally or even, I think urban areas, right? Like I'm from Wisconsin. I was just out there and like nobody's drinking an IPA, right? It's all kind of the basics.
Yeah.
In New York City, where I live now, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I can see that when you're in the bigger cities, it tends to be one of those trends. Emily, thank you so much. Go to businessinsider.com. We'll also have this on our website, dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
Well, thank you, Jackson there. Dumb beer, who'd have thought? Weight loss drugs have helped millions, but what happens when you stop taking it? We have clinical dietitian Sean Wells with more.
Tonum Health, Tonum, Tonum Health, and the product is Motus, Motus. It's a multiple ingredient formula that not only addresses GLP-1 with the appetite and insulin sensitivity, but it also addresses fat oxidation and metabolism, addresses cellular energy with NAD levels. And so what we see is not only fat loss, quite frankly, exceeding that of these GLP-1 medications, where 87% of the weight that's lost is fat mass. That's a stark contrast to those medications. But we see numbers of weight loss as well that are pretty dramatic, 10.5% across the 6 months with the 100 study participants, and 14.5% weight loss with those that are doing excellent diet and exercise. Tonum.com, Tonum, Tonum.com, and the product is Motus, Motus.
All right, if you've got some extra change laying around, a New Jersey dinosaur park has listed dozens of its life-size Jurassic giants on Facebook Marketplace as it gears up to close its doors. The owner of the Field Station Dinosaurs attraction said he's been flooded with calls from people who want to own one of his 25 massive dinosaurs. In May, he announced that he would be shutting down the popular tourist spot after 14 years. The park has listed dozens of massive dinosaurs for between $500 and $3,500. The most expensive one, 75 feet tall. Now, here's my question. If you buy one of these, how do you get it home?
You're going to have to throw it on the back of a flatbed.
Yes.
That's the only way you do it. And the fascination we still have with dinosaurs. There was a, Sinclair gas station.
Gas station.
So somebody
Dino.
stole the green dinosaur. Somebody stole one in one of these cities.
I think it was Los Angeles.
Caught on camera.
Yeah.
Guy felt bad a couple weeks later and brought it back with a note, said, "I'm sorry," which that was the right thing to do. I hope he did it because he realized he did the wrong thing and not because he got caught.
Yes.
But it's back. If you need some dinosaurs, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we're not done with this hour. Stick around. Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's time to look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yes.
Okay, I did that voice. Can we go in the control room?
Okay.
Raise your hand in the control room if you know whose voice I just tried to impersonate. Can we take a shot? Raise your hand if you knew who the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Hugo's the only one.
Oh, no. Is that Mackenzie?
Mackenzie, did
She
you raise her?
knows.
Okay,
She's raising her hand.
Robin Leach. You have the
Robin
show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Oh, remember Robin Leach. Champagne.
Oh, Sean.
the fat dude. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Right.
All right, we start with the 1920s Spanish estate in Beverly Hills. Once a home and owned by Madonna, restored by actress Diane Keaton, later became the residence of Glee creator Ryan Murphy and was listed for $25 million. The 8,434 square foot home was originally designed back in 1927. Diane Keaton bought the home in 2007 for $8 million. Keaton then turned the home's grand entry into a library. She also transformed the kitchen, creating a vaulted ceiling anchored by a fireplace and an oversized farm table. Keaton purchased the home from Madonna, who owned it briefly. Diane sold it to Ryan Murphy for $10 million back in 2009.
And she was really good, Diane Keaton, on doing these home renovations. I remember they used her for one of those renovation shows. So she's really good with her gloves and all.
And I believe she owned a Frank Lloyd Wright home in Los Angeles.
Right. Yeah. Actor Mark Wahlberg moving his family east from Hollywood. The Academy Award nominee just purchased a $37 million lakefront estate in one of South Florida's most exclusive locations. The family's new estate comes with high-level privacy, easy access to high-end attractions in Palm Beach. Wahlberg's newly renovated home, it's dubbed Palazzo di Lago, as a contemporary Italian mansion. It sits on 2.5 acres of lakefront property and has a roughly 18,000 square feet of living space. Wahlberg paid $37 million with the furniture included. His house in Los Angeles, or one of his houses, actually had a church in it. I wonder if he'll put a church in. He's a very religious guy.
Yeah, he is. Here's an out-of-this-world opportunity. An abandoned NASA campus in North Carolina just went on the market for $30 million. Offers a ready-made getaway to the stars across 192 acres of land. The shuttered space base, constructed back in 1963 at the height of the space race against the Soviet Union, served as a satellite tracking facility. It even captured the first-ever images of Earth from the cosmos. Also used by NASA as a key satellite communications hub during the Cold War. Campus features more than 30 buildings.
Nice. That's a great place to come. That does it for our show. We're taking off to, outer space. Who knows? We'll see y'all later.